What's going on, YouTube family? How you doing? And welcome back to the channel, man. Everybody checking in. If this is your first time, this is Ruppleberry Reacts, man. You're locked in for some good stuff. Right now, though, we're doing something completely different. Are honey badgers overpowered? You heard me. Are honey badgers overpowered? Now, if you don't know what a honey badger is, you're getting ready to find out. Me, myself, was a little bit of a animal nerd, as you can say, as a kid. Animals are amazing. National Geographic was the one thing I looked forward to getting in the mail. So I know a little bit, but I think this guy knows way more than I do. Here's TierZoo with our honey badgers OP.
This episode was sponsored by Squarespace.
Honey badger versus a warthog. I got dibs on the honey badger.
Honey badgers, one of the most
That was
memed
too
builds
early.
in the game. They have the reputation of being nearly indestructible, and also extremely bold when it comes to challenging other players to fights.
Oh yeah.
But what is it about the honey badger's stats and abilities that make them such an unstoppable force? To understand that, first we need to understand the guild that they're part of, Mustelids. Since the start of my channel, Mustelids have been my most requested topic.
Mustelids are basically like weasels, otters, things like that. I know a little bit about a lot. Mustelids have a wide range, but it's almost like all of them are carnivores in some sense. They eat meat in one way or another. The mammals that fall under this are weasel-like, and they eat meat. That's just a little info on Mustelids.
So as a preemptive thank you for reaching 1 million subscribers, here's the video you've all been waiting for. So Mustelids are a unique guild of carnivore players that were kind of forced to get creative with their strategy.
It's a weasel right there. Hold on, wait, is it this way? Boom. That's a weasel right there. Yeah. And wolverines fall right into this as well. You have otters, which people think otters are like the cutest thing, bro. Otters are vicious when they want to be, okay? Just, yeah, I hope maybe he did a video about that. I'll check into that though.
Strategies in order to stay relevant. See, the caniform build, the one a huge chunk of the mammal player base is based on, already had two high-tier builds take hold in the meta, those being the dogs and the bears. These builds were too powerful to compete with directly, and so more janky strategies started to crop up. You had some that took the canoid build and adapted it to a marine playstyle, allowing them to avoid dogs and bears entirely. At least for the most part. And then you have the Mustelids, which opted for a unique combination of defensive abilities and mobility perks that somehow allowed them to compete directly with the dogs and the bears, and in some cases, granted them favorable matchups versus builds that canines struggle against. They've also got particularly dense fur that offers defense from attacks and also negates frost damage. However, they aren't without their weaknesses.
Honey badgers are more like, they're not really suited for the cold though. They're not made for that type of temperature. And hopefully you can't hear my in-house bear snoring right now. Hopefully not.
Their short limb length means that their mobility caps out lower than other caniforms, which means they don't really have the option to flee from a fight.
Nah, they
The
gotta
base
fight.
Mustelid build is the Weasel. Their lack of bulk and short legs means that their HP and mobility stats are quite low even for their size. But
You know, I'm still getting used to the fact that he refers to like the world and the animals in it like in computer terminology. I'm still getting used to that. This is still new.
their slender build does grant them a unique and important advantage. It allows them to follow their prey into their burrows. Rabbits, snakes, and moles are all safe from most larger predators below ground, but weasels are completely unfazed by this defensive tactic. But with that said, they're easily bested by even mid-tier carnivores.
Real quick, one of the coolest weasels is a mongoose. And you want to know why? It's like the only animal that can take on a king cobra, like head on, and not die. Google it.
Like foxes and coyotes. They also haven't got much defense against birds of prey. Mustelids are actually the most diverse carnivoran guild in the game, but to be honest, many of them are mid-tier at best. So today we're going to focus on the three most viable Mustelids
Brian, do you know what a wolverine is?
in the current meta, starting with everyone's favorite, the honey badger. Don't worry, I'm not here to tell anyone that honey badgers are actually low-tier trash. They're quite effective in the current meta, owing most of their success to two abilities. The first is an AoE morale debuff in the form of their odor gland. Now, they don't have the same projectile capabilities that skunks do, but they can still create a noxious zone around them that inhibits aggressors. It's especially effective at pacifying large groups, making it extremely useful for dealing with the swarms of bees that they have to deal with when they're looking for honey. The second ability is their loose skin and thick fur combo that makes dealing any significant damage to a honey badger extremely difficult. Their small eyes and wide necks make landing a critical hit near impossible, meaning that they have no problem challenging builds that normally rely on crits to win, such as big cats. It also helps defend against builds that utilize venom, because getting fangs or stingers through thick fur and hide isn't easy. Overall, I'd place the honey badger in low A tier. But when it comes to power, honey badgers are actually not the strongest of all the Mustelids. That honor falls to the wolverine, an animal so fearsome that even though they don't have retractable claws or regenerate...
Wolverine, this guy right here. Between the Hulk and Wolverine as a kid, that was it for a while. And Bishop was in there too, because he looked like me. The Hulk and Wolverine, we're talking about something completely different. But Wolverine is where I even learned about Wolverine, the character. I knew about the animal Wolverine before I even knew about the character, and that's how it led into that. And he is the best, like the best.
Powers. This X-Men hero is still named after it.
Yep.
But more importantly, the Wolverine is perhaps the most effective intimidation build in the game.
Because
while it can deal enough damage to bring down prey on its own, it's primarily a scavenger that uses its extreme durability and power to scare more conventionally powerful predators away from their own loot.
This is called confidence, okay? That's exactly what that is. That is pure, uninhibited confidence. He believes in himself more than anything. He believes in himself. I'm telling you, I love Wolverine. He believes in himself. The animal believes that he is the biggest, strongest, most powerful thing out there. And you have to prove him wrong. You have to prove him wrong. That's the thing. You have to. And if you don't, I guess he's right then, right?
Birds, wolves, and panthers all get their kills stolen by wolverines quite frequently.
Yeah.
One wolverine allegedly even bested a polar bear in battle. They also have wide feet that allow them to negate the mobility reduction caused by deep snow.
They are fast.
On top of all of this, they too have access to the same stink bomb AoE move that the honey badgers do. In fact, their odor effect is so powerful that they've been nicknamed the stink bear, which is saying a lot considering bears are also one of the smelliest builds in the entire game. All this combined makes the Wolverine a top tier.
If you've never been like in the woods or like out there in nature, you smell a foul stench, but you've never smelt a carcass before. Like you don't know what deteriorating flesh smells like. There's a good chance there's a bear around you. Now, they don't stink on the same level, but bears have a funk that is undeniable. But if you know what you're like looking for, you know what it is. I'm telling you, bro. Like for someone who, never goes outside for real, it's cool to learn about things like that. Well, when I was a kid, I was really into it, and then life happened.
Tundra survivalist class. But as tough as they are, there's one more Mustelid on our list that I rank even higher. The last build on this list is the most intelligent Mustelid, and also the only one that's fully aquatic.
Otters?
The otter. Because of their special ability, webbed feet, otters get a huge mobility bonus in water, turning what would be a relatively average build on land into an apex predator in the water.
Yeah.
Most Mustelids are solitary, but some otters, such as the giant otter, form tight clans that enable them to tackle challenges they couldn't alone.
Now, just keep in mind, right, real quick, that jaguar that is sitting right there is probably 5-6 feet, maybe. Look at this otter. He said giant otters now. Huge, okay? They are huge. They are not small by any means. And they will take you on, bro. I'm telling you. Otters are vicious, bro.
Such as
I used to work at Georgia Aquarium, and the otters there were cute, but they were nothing to play with. I've seen them in action. They are nothing to take lightly, especially when they get upset.
the giant otter, form tight clans that enable them to tackle challenges they couldn't alone, such as defeating opponents like anacondas and even caimans. But what really makes this build so impressive is that instead of speccing into the same odor effect that other Mustelids do, they spent their evolution points on higher intelligence. It's one of a very short list of builds with access to the tool use perk. Otters can deal with extremely high defense levels by cracking their target's armor using stones, which grants them an exclusive food source other carnivores simply don't have the skills or tools to access.
They really use it to open up food. I've never seen them or heard about them attacking anything with a stone, but to crack open turtles and oysters and things like that, and the mussels and things that they eat, yeah, they put the stone on their belly and they get to work. But you will watch them go through certain stones, like they have a favorite stone that they use. It's crazy. I don't even know how I be knowing all of this stuff, bro. Like, I never have anyone to talk to about this stuff, so I would just read it as a kid and be like, oh, that's so interesting, and keep it to myself.
And because of all of this, it's otters that are the OP Mustelids, not honey badgers. Mustelids are often hunted by humans because of the fur that they drop when defeated. Not only is this fur completely hydrophobic, granting the wearer water and frost resistance, but it's also very sleek and elegant. But you know what else is sleek and elegant? The websites you can make using Squarespace. If you're looking to create a website but don't know where to start, Squarespace has you covered.
So are we done
Whether
here?
you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with...
All right. So I think this right now is just a commercial for Squarespace. So, yes, that was the TierZoo, our honey badgers OP. And I'm going to have to say, bro, overpowered? No, they are made exactly the way they needed to be made. Now, wolverines are overpowered. An otter, ridiculously overpowered. Honey badgers are cool though, but I don't even know how they got the name honey badger because there's nothing sweet about them. But it's like a millitid. Milli means honey in Latin, right? Sweet as honey, which is crazy. Militus means sweet as honey in Latin. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Either way though, this was my interaction with TierZoo. And if you like these, we definitely can get some more going because I am a big fan of the animal kingdom, if you haven't realized. Yeah, we'll get more going. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's all yours, guys. Go have a good day now.